Alright, welcome back. Gonna jump into the first game. Just found an opponent in Ranked Masters League. This is a pretty good hand. We're going to keep this. It's a bit short on power, but it has a really good early game. Although I'm not super happy about having hammer that I'm not that likely to play on turn 4. But having a 1-drop and a 2-drop plus a torch or a finest hour and a Sword of Icaria if we draw a land is all in all a pretty great hand. I'm gonna attack first, just in case the opponent tries to get greedy and wanted to wait with his torch. So we can finest our Pyro Knight if he torches. I would have assumed it's a mirror, but it's very weird. Like, it seems like it's not a mirror. Maybe it's a bad Icaria blue draw, or an armory draw that's screwed on stuff and is weak. Not sure. I would guess it's more likely armory than Icaria blue, because that influence looks more like armory. That's weird. Like, what is his hand? Like, what's he holding? I mean, our hand is pretty bad, but we are still winning because our opponent is not doing anything. But yeah, that once again shows how risky these 2 power keeps are in this deck. Like, look at this hand, I have all these great cards that I cannot cast. Cannot play because I'm stuck on 2 power. This deck operates so poorly on 2 power. The only reason we are not losing is because our opponent basically does nothing but play power each turn. Not sure what his goal is, but yeah, that was quite the unexciting game, but it showed the thing that I talked about before, that power is really that important. Oh, we ranked up to 16, sweet. Open the chest real quick. I'm gonna do more than 1 game per video, so that you don't have a million few-minute videos. I'm gonna do 5 games in total with the deck. Probably 3 and 2 or 2 and 3, depending on how long the games go. That makes up for like how lengthy the deck tag was. But yeah, it's nice how you could see that even with 28 power, you are not completely safe from keeping a nice looking 2 power hand and just getting crippled and not doing anything. If our opponent would have done anything, we would have probably horribly lost that game. This hand is kind of interesting. Like, 4 power is a bit much in the opening hand for my liking usually. But the fact that we are under play, have a hammer to cast with the 4 power, which is pretty good, and a guaranteed hammer on 4, and a 1-drop and a 2-drop, makes it barely keepable for me. I think it's probably a bit better than a random redraw. Although, usually I redraw like the majority of 4 power opening hands, unless they have a really good like 2, 3, 4 curve or something like that. But usually the 4th power is just a bit too much in the opening hand, because if you draw a 5th stand and your cards are not high impact enough, you probably like already too flooded. Drawing like more power cards later on in the game, like deeper in the game, when you already have an advantage on board, it's not that big of a deal. But basically starting behind is not a good premise. But yeah, instead of more power, we managed to draw 2 more spells, so this hand turned out really well, because now we have a great hand. We can torch whatever the opponent's playing, and then on our turn just play our 4th power and hammer, and then hammer away at the opponent. That is very unfortunate, but not much we can do about it. At least we have a Groundwatch Paladin, so the opponent cannot punish us for playing hammer and like 2 for 1 or something. So the question is, do I want to torch that? I actually think it's probably fine to torch it, but I'm not 100% sure. But it's probably fine because it's like nice tempo there, and he is most likely burned, so there's not many good torch targets anyway. like especially ones that matter against our 5/5. So it's probably good to just use the tempo there and not take 2 on the backswing for multiple turns. That's a great way to lose against burn, just being raised and then burned out the turn before they die. Oh, I wish so much this guy had quick draw right now, but oh well. The next unit we draw is gonna be monstrous, so that helps. And we can just do that. Get rid of that guy. Play that to transmute our gem blades, so they get affected by Warcry. It's kind of important to, like, if you have that 5th sigil, play it so that your gem blade is a gem blade on top of your deck, and that the Warcry trigger goes onto the gem blade, because otherwise you might draw that gem blade and it's just a 3/3, you play a land, transforms into +3/+3 weapon, and the Warcry is deeper in your deck. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But yeah, that's also what I meant in the deck tech. Like, now we have this +9/+1 weapon, but we have nothing to cast it on. Like, if that would be a Crown Watch Cavalry, for example, this would be an 8/8 unit that would completely like be able to threaten our opponent, or at least trade with one of the champions. Or currently would be an 8/8, then I would have killed the champion and hit the opponent for 8. So yeah, sorry, I had to pause for a moment to turn off Facebook in the background. Forgot about that. So yeah, we're basically dead here. But yeah, that nicely illustrates the theory behind Crown Watch occasionally being better than Hammer, and the deck needing a couple of like extra units, because yeah, there will be plenty of spots where your opponent just kills all your things and then you have a gigantic weapon and no target. Alright, he got us. That is unfortunate, but happens. Alright, so one more game, and then after that game I'll be back in the second video with the remaining 2 games. Definite redraw. Pretty decent mulligan. Playing against Unearthly. He usually plays Rakano as well, so it's probably a mirror, but he plays Righteous Fury, where I have Cavalry. He also plays Inspire, where I have Pyronite, and also plays more 4 and 5 power cards and less power. He basically plays, I think, 25 power, sometimes 26, and 4 Inspire, which, like I said, I think is really bad, but to each his own, and he is doing well enough with it for him to not change it, I guess. Don't want to block here. Alright, so attack. And then Valkyrie to not get crippled too much by all the Warcry and stuff. Could have also played Sword, but I rather have the 3/3 that potentially eats a unit. Sure, he can have Torch or Finest Hour, but that's okay. He has to have that. Like, if he doesn't have either, the Valkyrie is gonna do more than the Sword. So it's a bit of a flip there. I wouldn't fault anyone for playing Sword over Valkyrie there and killing the Outlaw to get rid of the body for sure, and basically be in a bit better position against Torch or Finest Hour. It's a close call. But yeah, he didn't have either, so that's pretty good for me. Also, the nice thing is now I have Sword for his Valkyrie, which is actually pretty relevant. And I can attack with this guy. He's probably gonna trade with his own, I would assume. Yep, which is fine with me. Given that I have no weapons and he might have weapons, I definitely want to trade as much as possible. Game is not looking too great. Like if he has a power there and a hammer, I'm in a rough spot. Drawing a bunch of turtles is not what you want in the mirror. Definitely need like power and vanquish. But he also only has turtles, so it's not too bad, I guess. But he has 2/3/3 quick draws, which is actually pretty inconvenient. Yeah, I think. Can I attack here? No, I think I don't have an attack. Plus, he probably has neither Torch nor Finest Hour the way he played. So what I'm gonna do is probably gonna triple block one of the 3/3 quick draws, and if the 2/2s attack, block one of these with the Valkyrie. And just hope to not get blown out, because I can't really play around anything anymore in this spot. Just have to, like, do the best possible thing I can do against what is on the board and hope he doesn't have anything to blow me out. Because if he does, I'm not gonna be able to win this game no matter what I do. Yep, that's what I feared. That's pretty bad, so better draw a Vanquish off the top. But yeah, Vanquish would be pretty nice. That is not a Vanquish. But at least it's a Torch for that guy. So this guy can attack at least. Problem is I couldn't even like attack into this guy because I have no 3/3s. Because otherwise I would attack, like there's no way he would block with a 6/6 there. But yeah, he got me. Not gonna recover from that. That's just too much. Like hammer into 6/5 Sword of Icaria is exactly what beats you. I mean, I guess if I draw a Vanquish now, there's a chance that I can still turn this around, because then I can kill this guy, kill the weapon, and then I'm suddenly only behind on life. But okay, otherwise. Yeah. Alright. He got me. This game is over. But yeah, Vanquish would have made all the difference. Okay, down to 20. Alright, see you in a moment with the last two games.